afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, I'm John, this is Many a True Nerd, and welcome back to Shogun 2 A Total War. And I'm just calling it Shogun 2 Total War now, and you can't stop me. Anyway, last time, we converted our old foe the Ouchi into our first vassal, thanks to a cunning naval invasion. And even better, because we vassalized these guys without actually beating up their armies, they were just smart enough to realise it's either vassalization or we destroy their city this turn. Yeah, we've now got under our control a vassal with a pretty bloody big army. Though I can't help but notice it is, yes, a fairly battered army, probably on account of being stuck behind enemy lines during the winter. And there is an enemy army right up here, which is also a bit battered, but not as battered. And I see samurai in that army, so okay, it's possible our new vassal is not going to be around for too long. But I'm really hoping these guys will maybe survive this next turn. Because if they do, they could be very bloody useful. After all, these guys are now chill with me, meaning, yeah, they're going to be tossing all their power at the Marco to the north of them, who took their other city, though, yeah, those guys do have 4 provinces. So they've got a much bigger economy backing them up. Still, putting that aside, we're now in a much better position than we were previously. Me and the Itto are now super chill, and now these guys are 3 provinces, not just 1, they're buying a lot more goods from me, so I'm making a lot more money through trades. And that leaves just 1 enemy here on Kyushu, the large island in western Japan. And that's the Sagara, so, okay. I think today we need to deal with these losers. Especially given, yes, I've now got a big enough army to make it to flipping happen, though, okay. Before we get to that, let's just take stock as to what's going on in our empire right now, because, yes, we spent most of the first 3 episodes basically panicking and training troops as fast as we can in order to deal with the enemies on every side. And now for once, things have calmed down for a moment, so, yeah, we could just take a moment and figure out how we're going to invest in our empire going forward, because what we've got right here is the foundation of an amazing economy. Because up here in northwest Kyushu is some of the best and most valuable farming land in the whole of Japan. These territories are wealthy, they generate a lot of flipping money. But this castle town here, Fukuoka, now this could be the absolute flipping crown jewel. Because not only is the soil incredibly fertile, this location has also got a school, which in theory could be evolved into a magistrate, getting me more and more taxes, so I can get access to a larger proportion of this here wealth. So, okay, this here is a location we need to invest in. So it sure is bloody convenient, we just finished upgrading the city, so there's now an open construction slot in the castle town, and I think I know precisely what we're going to be building here. And that is a flipping market, so, okay, that adds money to the wealth, which is good, that's going to make more money straight away, and it's going to help this province grow faster as well, but more importantly than anything else, it's going to let us recruit the 3rd type of agent in this game, the Metsuke, a civilian diplomatic governor thing who we most definitely want to be getting on board as soon as flipping possible. And while we could also afford to, yes, upgrade the main castle structure here in Aizen as well, you've got to be very, very careful about this, because when you upgrade a main structure, that city needs more food. Right now, I'm on 0 food. If you go into a deficit, bad things happen. Just don't let that happen. So, okay, what we're going to do instead is, yeah, upgrade the farms at the same time, given this city's going to be important going forward. So, yeah, let's just get even more farming in production here, because that's going to generate not just more money, but more food as well. Oh, and speaking of Metsukes, let's talk all about the things that John got wrong, which is the last episode. I thought, yes, the Metsuke belonging to the Sagara had taken out one of my priests. And he didn't. What he did was take out the ninja who was standing nearby, because this is kinda how agents work in this game. There's a bit of a triangle going on. So for example, ninjas are very good at assassinating priests and monks and whatnot. And that makes sense, because you know, a ninja versus a monk doesn't feel like a particularly fair fight. Monks, meanwhile, are pretty good at converting Metsukes, making them see the error of their ways and go on to find a better life, etc, etc. So, okay, that sort of makes sense too. But yeah, Metsukes are very good at dealing with ninjas. Because officially they, like, arrest them. And it's true that on this occasion, the ninja was a foreign enemy agent who was spying and whatnot. But I'm not 100% convinced I understand how the Metsuke arrested him. Like, you know, did the ninja just say, okay, fair enough, you got me, I'll come quietly? No, I feel like the ninja should just have, like, run away, using various awesome ninja techniques and whatnot. But no, Metsukes are just very good at dealing with ninjas. Luckily, though, that means my missionary is still standing. And that could be a real problem for you, good sir. Oh yeah, there we go. That's you taken care of. Beautiful, though. Yeah, I think he's only going to be down for a few turns. But luckily, that's probably all the Sagara have got left in them. Oh, better and better. My missionary just increased in rank, and you, sir, you're now rank 3, which is very, very important indeed, because all of a sudden, that means we can start investing in Agitator, making this guy better at his job when he's inciting unrest. So let's just put all of the skill points we can in that direction, because, oh yeah, oh flippin' yeah, we're just going to be investing in this non-stop at this point. Speaking of, yes, the Sagara in general, what I don't want to do is take on this army inside this town, because sure, it's not the best army in the world, but yeah, that is a lot of bloody spearmen, and if they're upon the plaza, they can't rout. And the biggest way you deal with a large number of spearmen is tricking them into routing. So, okay, I think I've got a plan here. My army could just about make it into these trees over here. And if your army goes into a forest, that basically means it's gone into ambush stance. So, I'm just going to bring my troops, yeah, right about here into this forest with an ambush zone covering the roads. What I'm hoping is at some point they'll think, oh my goodness, look at that, unguarded cities. We should go and conquer those largely unguarded cities. And when they do, they'll walk straight into my prepared army. Okay, and beyond that, yeah, with the Ouchi now on my side and possibly about to be destroyed anyway, probably best we get a few more flipping trade ships out, because, okay, we could probably lock down some of the trade nodes that previously the Ouchi chased us off. Oh, and as for you, sir, the heir of my empire, we should probably get you back to friendly territory as soon as possible. But we also need to find something for this guy to do, because this guy's our heir, which means that by the end of the game, he's probably going to be our daimyo. When that happens, yeah, we want to make sure he's actually had an opportunity to do some stuff and thus grow some traits. Though, I will admit, in general, though Shogun 2 has got an amazing campaign in terms of campaign mechanics, the fights, all the rest of it. In terms of personality of characters, it does lack a bit of the magic that you got back in Rome, Medieval 2, etc, etc. Characters just don't have that much personality. Like our most experienced general here, who's done basically 100% of our actual fighting, has got no actual personality at all. Like, he's a competent fighter, he is loyal, he's got some very good effects for the troops under his command, but yes, you don't really, like, get a sense for him as a person. Though speaking of which, I kind of forgot to upgrade him at some point, so should probably do that, and honestly, maxing out strategist, not a bad call. Beyond that, yeah, what we could do is make it better at sea, make a cavalry have access to new formations, or, yeah, make me better at upgrading new bits and pieces, the civilian tray. This ultimately being in particular a direction we will want to take our heir when the time is right, because if he's the daimyo, this would increase his honour. You know what, sir? I'm going to give you maxed out strategist, and also 1 point in cavalry commander, purely because that unlocks the ability to, yes, have a bonus commander during attack or defence. And actually, speaking of our daimyo, he's just been chilling out here, doing functionally nothing this entire time, so, okay, we should probably get you some additional troops and get you moving in the right direction too. Here you go, have some guns, just in case the Itto is still planning something stupid, though I think me and them, for the time being, are chill. Oh, and in terms of arts, right, we've probably invested enough in the way of a chi for the time being. We need to get some, yes, flipping military arts out, if only because I'm leaving basic stuff on the table unclaimed right now. And yeah, there's some very powerful things it would be nice to have, like Way of the Bow. Though I'm not a big arch-using faction, archers are still very much present in all my armies. And if I get Way of the Bow done, they can use the fire arrows, which lets archers have a much bigger effect on morale, which is great for creating morale shocks. So, okay, that's charge bonus. That would be, yeah, defense to all units. That would be pretty good too, actually, and you know what? Heaven and earth. Bonus ammo to all bow units, and also bonus unit replenishment. Okay, let's take that one for now. That's pretty good. Bonus defense to everyone. That's great for my spear walls. Right, that's about all we can do for now, so... okay, what we're really hoping for at this point is... one, you guys either retreat back to your city, or pull out an amazing victory and kick the asses of these guys, who are probably going to attack you. And part two... like you to, yes, take the bait and march straight up towards me. So, okay. End the turn, ending spring and moving us towards summer and... okay. They just march southwards. You've naffed off into the forest, my friend. That's probably good, actually. Depending on, actually, where are you going? Maybe he's trying to backstab the city round the corner. I'm not sure. So... you already moved, my friend. Okay. You've... oh, sorry. I had a mission this entire time. Way of the gun to train gun units, which I've not been doing. Because, yes, basically, you don't want that many gun units in the early game. Just a few of them to lay stress at a particular point and trigger a morale route. That's just fine. So, yeah, these guys have just naffed off around the corner and are now hiding in a forest. And you're just chilling here. Which is concerning because at any point you could just... come round the corner and, like, you know, take this city. And that'll be the end of my vassals, so please don't just stand in the forest doing nothing. Still, that's just to get my own troops back on shore. Beautiful. And yeah, when you've got a friendly port, you can actually get them ashore without it burning the rest of their movement, which is lovely. So, okay, the Itto are just holding position. Nothing to worry about there, and looks to me like, yeah, significant part of their army has just moved into the city. The rest has just moved down south. Are you going to do it like, you know, the rebels or something? There's still a giant rebel army there, which is delightful. So, it's just getting bigger and bigger as well. I swear that's bigger every time I see it. Okay, you, sir, work around them and mosey southwards. Because, yeah, you can function as a spy to keep an eye on the Itto. This, however, scares me. Quite a lot, actually, because... yeah, while the main army is down here, that is a significant number of troops. Including, I think, a decent number of archers, because the army that merged into this city, I saw it more clearly back when I had a ninja nearby, so... okay. I think we can make this happen, but I'm a little bit concerned that it's going to be with some really... oh! Well, this is interesting. You see, what the game's decided here is, because I've got 3,000 troops and a relatively experienced general, I can actually win this quite comfortably. And I think the game's being a bit on the generous side there, quite frankly, because I've got 6 archers, he's got 6 archers as well, but his archers are way better defended behind the fort walls, so in a straight archer versus archer fight, my archers will lose, quite badly in fact. My gunners are fairly useless in a siege scenario, and that just leaves, yes, what have I got there, like 9 units of spearmen versus his 5. But my 9 units of spearmen can break. And his can't. And also, he's on defense, so he can put up good spear walls, and I can't. So, honestly, if I were to fight this fight, I feel like there is a good chance I could lose this purely because all my units are Ashigaru, the basic tier 1 infantry. So, none of them have got good morale. But the game thinks I've got a good chance, probably because I've got a skilled general at level 3. So I'm going to take the auto-resolve on this occasion, because I think, honestly, the auto-resolve is going to do better than I actually could, at least in terms of casualties, so, oh yeah, sometimes at just an occasion, you can just take the auto-resolve. That's absolutely fine. So, he takes a giant pile of damage, I take some damage too, and less than 700 casualties. I challenge any human to win that fight with a better result than that. 700 lost versus their 2,000 with a defender's advantage and 6 archers on the walls. Okay, thank you, game. That is very generous of you. The penalty being, yeah, I think you get less experience if you auto-resolve. Because we just killed 2,000 men. Like, some of these units have got a lot of kills under their belt. Yeah, they just haven't leveled up at all. So, I think that's kind of the penalty you get for auto-resolving. It's just not as efficient in terms of the experience you gain for your troops. But on this occasion, yes, I will happily take that. That's fine. So, right. Because this was the final settlement, I could have vassalized the Sagara. But if I do, they get to keep this city. And unfortunately, that's not acceptable to me. Because this city is the one I flipping want. So we're just going to move in and take that. Their army just disappears off the map and... okay, those Christian rebels I spawned long ago. Now apparently it's up to me to go and deal with them. Though hilariously, this settlement is already about 50% Christian because, yes, my missionary has been floating around for quite some time. There's been neighbouring provinces just pouring in Christianity too, so... oh yeah, this territory is going to be much more easy to pacify, though, oh. Well, this is interesting down south. The one building they actually constructed here was a rice exchange, which is a very interesting building indeed. Because this building generates a load of money, like huge amounts of money. The downside being, it consumes food. So, yeah, this is a tier 1 settlement where the fort is consuming a food. And the rice exchange is also consuming a food. However, because this place has gone to, yeah, improved irrigation, luckily, it's paying for itself food-wise. So, I'm still at 0 food overall. But this is why you need to be upgrading your farms fairly regularly. For the simple reason, advanced buildings, and especially the ones that generate a ton of money, they need a food to function. Still, just to work on repairing the fort, etc, etc. And on top of that, right, Higo has got plenty more going for it as well. As you may notice from the very high amount of farming money coming in, this is, just like the 2 settlements to the north, another very fertile region. Like these settlements all next to each other, in the very northwest corner of the map. These settlements are amazing. And if I just invest in them for a bit, oh, the amount of money they can make is ridiculous. And even better, this territory has also got a special resource. One of the most important special resources in the game. The Horse Breeder. Because you see, at any point during this game so far, I could have constructed a stables in any of my cities. And that would have let me train light cavalry. And light cavalry are not bad. They will actually go toe-to-toe with a general unit pretty effectively. They'll probably lose, but if they get that charge bonus in, they can beat a general one-on-one on occasion. It is very sexy indeed. But basically, every other flippy cavalry unit, anything more advanced than just basic light cavalry, if you want to train them, you need access to the Warhorse resource. And that means either having this resource inside your empire, which I now do, which is brilliant, or trading for it. And that applies to my opponents as well as me. Anyone who trades with me now functionally has access to warhorses and can train a much stronger cavalry. Which is potentially very interesting indeed. Because up to this point, a very large number of factions have just refused to trade with me, because they don't like me very much. But now I've got access to warhorses, things might suddenly change, because trading with me is going to be a lot more desirable. And yeah, you can always keep an eye on what resources your opponents do or don't have. So, the Josikabe over on this small island, Shikoku, unfortunately, they've already got warhorses, not because they've got them, but because they're importing them. However, they do have access to a superior stone for castle building and superior wood for shipbuilding. So if I could trade with them, I could have those goods. But I suspect given they've already got the war horses, they probably still won't be on board. So here we go, the Yamana, just around the corner from me. Honestly, we've not had much to do with these guys so far. What they're doing is, yes, importing crafts like pottery or whatnot. Now, we've got pottery too, so they're not going to be interested in that. But what they don't have access to is cotton or horses. So presumably all of a sudden, I've tried to deal with these guys before, in terms of trade, they've not wanted to. But now they would be willing to. Okay, so all of a sudden, yeah, we could potentially trade with a lot more people. Let's just make sure we're trading with, ideally, someone who, one, is nearby to us, because the trade route does have to literally happen on the campaign map, so trading too far away can be dangerous. It opens up opportunities for piracy, and two, we want to make sure we're trading with someone who we're probably not going to be going to war with anytime soon. Okay, the Chosakabe over the water, they are actually willing to do a deal at this point. Now, they are, one, nearby to me. Two, not necessarily someone I want to attack anytime soon. I'm happy to just live and let live with those guys. And three, would give me some useful goods in return. Stone and wood for castle and shipbuilding. So okay, though you guys are happy to trade, because I'm giving you horses, which is, you know, really valuable, and also other goods I'm importing, like that cotton, which I'm getting from a trade node, would you maybe be willing to toss a bit of money in? They do want to trade. Okay, what if I toss a tiny bit of, you know, military access in here? No, that they're not interested in. Okay, what if I just reduce that to just say 500? Okay, I can't get money out of them. However, there is a suitable daughter in their family who could do with a husband. Now that is sort of interesting, because yeah, that would mean we're no longer just trading casually. This would basically make us friends. And I would potentially be interested in being friends with the Chosakabe. Because, yeah, then they could functionally be a nice chill buffer state between me and most of Honshu and mainland Japan. Okay, now this could be interesting. Let's not be allies just yet, but they're not, you know, hating the idea. Okay, me and the Chosakabe could be getting somewhere here. You know what? I'm willing to make that happen. So, okay, we are now trading, and as a result, we have now got more goods in our empire than ever before. And just look at the income explode in the bottom right there. This is marvellously good news. And yeah, we're trading with someone who's basically just over the water. So, the boats just leave our capital of Bungo, go round the corner here to Tosa, and yeah, that therefore is relatively easy for me to protect. Me and the Chosakabe, we are natural allies. This is fine. Oh, though speaking of which, John, do not forget to, yes, repair the horse breeder right now, and literally can't afford to repair the horse breeder right now. Okay, that's fine. We'll repair it next turn. We've got plenty of money coming in off our new trade arrangement, and speaking of which, right, just check the trade summary here. Okay, this is good news, all things considered, which is most of the goods we've got coming in, we are now selling. And it's much better to sell something to a trade partner than let it just sit there doing nothing. Because otherwise you just sell it at cost and it just doesn't generate much in the way of money at all. But yeah, if we've only got a tiny amount of goods sitting around doing nothing, that means mostly we're at trade capacity. So yeah, I'm not sure what the Chosakabe are gonna do next, but for the most part, they kind of chill with everybody around them. Like, most of the time, they just take over their starting island and then sit there not doing much, and they certainly seem pretty chill at the moment. So, okay, me and them, we are now friendly. This is good. This does, however, suggest, yes, sooner or later, there's one obvious target. Heading over to the very western tip of Honshu, and taking on the Marco. And yeah, just looking at their profile, that would probably be a good thing to do, because these guys are treacherous and ruthless, and also they don't like me. So they're going to try something stupid sooner or later. But yeah, in terms of trade, just send more trade ships to the nodes we do have control over right now. Because you can stack multiple trade ships on the same node. You get slightly diminishing returns as you do, but there's definitely not going to be any significant effect with just the second ship. It's just going to give us more money, more goods. And finally, we've got some people to sell those goods to. Okay, now this. This has been a bloody good turn for us. So, step the next, yeah, just keep an eye on the Ouchi over here. Because I really want you guys to just leave the forest, get back to your one remaining city, and hunker down there, please. Though, I'm just deeply concerned about the Amarko army. Like, are they just doing the same thing that the Ouchi spent so many years doing, which is, they're just looking for an opportunity to attack a Buzan? Well, if they are, I've got a pretty good defensive force right here, guarding the pass. And another small force right here as well, yeah, just making sure no one can actually get to our harbour, so as a result, no one can blockade trade. Right, keep on keeping on. Lovely. Chosakar Bay just moving their troops around, and no trouble with you guys whatsoever, though. Okay, they just made... Oh, hang on. Wait, was that my vassal, or was that... Oh dear, hang on, no, that was the Amarko. I think my vassal might be dead. So, okay, Christian rebels are also moving in. Well, that's bloody convenient. I was about to go and hunt you guys down anyway. And, uh-oh. Okay, I was actually saying uh-oh for different reasons. But, okay, double uh-oh. Which is, one, the Itto are apparently potentially going to attack us anyway. Which is not nice of them, actually. But fine. And two, yes, we've now got a, food shortage. Which is really, really, really cocky bad. And on top of that, we've got people who want to serve. Okay, normally you should always say yes to this event, but, kind of need money at the moment. I'm so sorry. Come back like next turn. We will recruit you, I promise. For the time being, we've got a problem, which is, yes, the Christian rebels went and burnt down the farmland. And that's such an issue because that's producing a food. So we've now got into a food deficit, which is really, really bad. So, okay, once again, we can see lots of flipping Itto troops just floating around, etc., etc., including... okay, blimey. If you're here, that means multiple generals are potentially coming in. Maybe just get a few extra troops trained here. That would be very good indeed, actually, yes. Still, what we can do is, yes, use this priest here as a bit of a flipping spy. Just to mosey around, have a bit of a look-see and... actually, maybe not just a bit of a look-see, maybe... okay, we'll get back to that in just a second. Also, who's bloody dead? Oh yeah, it is the Ouchi. Okay, so I don't have vassals anymore. That's a shame, because having vassals was apparently honourable, so we don't have them. Right. The problem we've got here is... well, okay, multiple problems, actually, but let's just list them off one by one here. So the Itto, they're about to attack Bongo, by the looks of it, and if they do, that could be an issue. Because, one, Bungo's not desperately well defended, though, yeah, just a small army can do amazing things, so don't you flipping worry. Two, if they attack me, they won't be trading with me anymore. Meaning, my trade income's going to go way down, because I'll have more goods than the Chosakabe are going to want to receive. So, the economy's going to partially collapse on account of that. Two, now I don't have my vassal anymore. Yes, my honour's going down, so it's going to make it more difficult to find new people to trade with, because they won't like me as much because I'm not honourable anymore. Three, there's that food shortage we've got to sort out. And four, the bloody Christian rebels are just chilling out doing their own thing right inside my territory, but that at least we could deal with, because, yeah, we've got a decent-sized army right here. Honestly, just deploy the troops. Send everybody to go and deal with these guys. And, yeah, they're going to retreat in that direction, because it's the only way they can retreat, but that's kind of good news as far as I'm concerned. Admittedly, Higo is a little bit on the... okay, very on the annoyed side, actually. But they weren't upset last turn, were they? Because of all the troops present. So, yeah, if they spend one turn of being very upset, that's probably okay, I think. But yeah, we've got to take care of these guys right now. Even though that does mean, unfortunately, my troops are probably going to be too far back to make it to Higo. But yeah, you, sir, you've just got to die once and for all. And luckily, this shouldn't be too difficult, because yeah, light cavalry cannot penetrate a Yari Ashigaru shield wall. So, yeah, if we just kind of box up and pick them apart with archers, there's nothing they can do. And yes, when I say box up, I do mean very literally. We're just going to use 2 of our shield walls out on the flanks to make sure we don't get flipping flanked. In fact, if anything, yeah, we could just actually move you into more of this position. No, facing this way, please. Guys. No shield wall just yet, but yes, we will be shield walling as time goes by. If that cavalry want to get round to the back of me, let's make them really flipping work for it. And they are moving in my direction, actually. So, right, in which case, just shuffle over in this direction, guys. Let's get you onto a hillside so my gunners can actually flipping, you know, assist and whatnot. 'Cause otherwise, they will not be able to do much here. So, we're just moving into position right now as troops get into their final position. Just draw them up into their Yari walls. Beautiful. Guys, activate Yari wall. You guys can activate your Yari wall in just a second as well. Yeah, at this point, they're going to try and fire at me, and the cavalry's going to find very quickly, yeah, there's not much they can flipping do to get past these walls. They're just going to charge into them. Guys. Yari wall, and more flipping Yari wall, and yeah. At this point, basically, our units are going to be completely flipping untouchable. And these guys can just fire down a hill, which is lovely. So, yeah. This is all going to work out just fine. Honestly, we can just sit here and enjoy the show, because these cavalry are going to just flipping melt in the face of, look at that. They're down to, yep, 36, 32, 30, 24. Light cavalry cannot do a thing to actual flipping shield walls. So, is anyone in trouble? Like, at all? Because we can't even inspire just yet. And, oh dear. I think they've basically broken already, because they tried to run uphill straight into a Yari wall. Beautiful. Well done, guys. Also, speaking of, like, you know, horses and stables as I was a second ago, we just need to get those stables out in my new city so we can start training some flipping light cavalry, because, seriously, the general should not be having to do all the riding down by himself. It's not working that well. So, job done. Basically, no casualties, and guys, not acceptable. Get back here. Let's sort you guys out once and for all, please. Thank you. This is what auto-resolve is also very good for, by the way. If you want to make absolutely sure they're not surviving when it's overwhelming odds, auto-resolve does a good job of, yes, finishing them off for good. There we go. 0 remaining. Much better. Right, step the next, yes, spend whatever money it takes to repair up all these buildings, because these are important buildings, though. Blimey, that was a bit on the expensive side. But yeah, if the Itto are blatantly coming in from this direction, we need to send at least some troops to Bungo to reinforce. And Bungo's just got an empty flipping building slot, so I bet it has this entire game. Hilarious. But not stables, no. The reason being, yes, if you actually build stables in the same region as you've got the Warhorse resource node, then yeah, the cavalry trained there are just going to be far superior. So okay, that's being repaired, and on top of that, we've also got improved irrigation coming out up here momentarily, together with the market. So yeah, the economy should be looking much better as a result of that in just a moment. But okay, with the food situation resolved, and troops are moving in the right direction to reinforce Bungo, let's talk about, yes, an alternative way to fight the flipping Itto. Because my secondary priest, who's not currently as strong, I've got him moving south right now. But more importantly, we've got this guy right outside Satsuma. And I can't help but notice that this town is basically completely unguarded. Because clearly, they've sent all their troops in this direction, spotted by my passing a trade vessel, which is lovely, meaning, okay, this is where all their strength is, everything else not looking so good. And at the same time, this guy is just chilling out right here, having previously specialised in inciting unrest, so, okay, my friend, how about you just, 73%, and it's only going to cost you 375 to try. So you can just keep doing this over and over until it succeeds, and alright, incitement number 1 complete. So, there's now a Christian army just chilling out right here. There's a good chance next turn they will just walk in and take Satsuma. And that's really, really good news, because that means I could just send my army straight down to Satsuma and take it to back off of those Christian rebels, and that would be my city. And I'd have it without declaring a war on the Itto. Okay, officially, this is not an act of war. This is just a spontaneous religious uprising. I'm not at war with you guys. We're at peace, we're friends, we're trading. But if some Christians happen to rise up and overthrow your cities, then I go and take those rebel cities. Well, that's not my fault, is it? I'm just helping to deal with the local rebel problems. But now we see precisely what you guys are going to do next, because there's a good chance they'll panic and try and get back to Satsuma. Because if they lose Satsuma, they'll have just lost a very important economic hub. All of a sudden, they might not be able to support all these units they've got trained. Maybe they'll have a food deficit, maybe a gold deficit as well, so... okay. Once you're flipping missionaries, get going and start upgrading their ability to incite unrest. Oh bloody hell, it becomes a powerful tool. Though yes, let's also just train a few extra troops right here in Higo, because these guys are not happy right now. Are there any more troops we could, like, send down to assist? No, you guys are basically neutral. You're happy to pay taxes, but nothing more. So we're going to have to definitely send some troops back next turn to reinforce Higo. Which is unfortunate because, hang on, do we have anything trained in? No, we've not got anything training in Bungo right now. But Bungo could deal with this, I think. That would be fine. And I suspect you're about to be distracted by, yes, that Christian uprising. Okay, and John, if you need more flipping money, yeah, trade with anyone who's willing to trade. And in particular, yeah, if you can get hold of goods you don't have any other way, that's probably going to be a good thing. So... right, small faction are just over the road. They're also willing to trade with me. And they're at war with the Amico. Good. Let's do everything we can to power up enemies of the Amico. Because sooner or later, I'm going to be fighting the Amico. And where things get really sexy is... oh yeah. Once you've got a whole bunch of resources available to you that you can trade with other people... okay, they're willing to pay for trades. 3 grand, and we start making more money through trade. That's a good flipping deal right there. Lovely. And honestly, yeah, with a bit of extra money coming in, 1, let's get some more flipping guns in production. And even though it's not the most efficient thing in the world to do in terms of soil quality, yeah, let's just drop a bit of extra money getting more food in, because you do not want to potentially end up with a massive food deficit by mistake just because someone comes in and burns your farms down. And speaking of which, yeah, with more food coming in, I wouldn't mind Higo also having access to another building slot, so... okay. In 3 turns... oh, bloody hell, I was literally just saying we've got to watch out for food. But I really want all of these cities round here, in a perfect world, to, yes, have the ability to level up, open up new slots, etc., etc. Okay, we're gonna do it, but we're also gonna keep a very close eye on food coming in, okay? We've got more food coming in momentarily over here. We're repairing these farms up. It's all going to be fine, probably. Right, key thing at the moment. Watch the flipping Itto. What are they gonna do in response to what we've just done? That's just my trade ship moseying around the corner to get more goods to trade with my new partners. That's fine. So, okay, Chusakabe just moseying around doing their own thing too. It looks to me like, right. As I suspected, they've declared war on me. Luckily on this occasion, I think we're flipping ready for it. And oh my, hang on, I think I just saw something very exciting at the end there. Yes, I'm aware we're no longer trading with the Itto, and also Higo's getting a bit angry. We've also, yes, mastered our +1 defense tech. That's a very good indeed. But no, not the way the spear. What we're actually going to be doing is, yeah, going over to the first big farming tech, so we can get our farms up to level 3. But more importantly, oh my, guys, it would appear that you don't flipping own Satsuma anymore. Satsuma is now a rebel flipping territory. So okay, their economy is not looking good right now. And all of a sudden, oh dear guys, looks to me like you launched this war at the wrong flipping moment. And okay, as for Higo, if I send, the minister to here, they're actually chill, while still paying tax, and with a minimal army, so, oh, that's the advantage of sending in the missionaries well ahead of time. Like, this territory is much easier to keep under control, so, okay. That means we don't need to send our troops back to Higo. And that means they could just start advancing, so, oh guys, you've made a horrible mistake. But okay, before we get to that, just to send our ships to join their brethren around the corner over here. Just get more and more trade ships on more and more nodes. You can see, the amount of money coming in is going up and up and up. So, okay, these are not very well defended trade nodes, admittedly, by which I mean at all defended. There are no military ships there at all. But for the time being, they are happily paying for themselves. So, okay. We have got a good, solid amount of money coming in. And hang on, just have a look-see at the economy for the time being. Trade goods are right. Trade goods are not great in a way. We're now sitting on a whole bunch of trade goods that we can't sell. However, though we don't like the Amarco, we could trade with them by land. So we can't trade with these guys by sea. Our ports are at capacity right now, I think. But officially, Amarco's got a land border thanks to that crossing. If you guys would be willing to trade, that would be... Oh, yeah. Oh, flippin' yeah. Could I get some money, by the way? Because I can't help but notice you'll be getting a lot of goods from me in the bottom left there that you don't currently have access to. They're literally not willing to pay anything, though. But bare minimum, trade alone is worth a good, solid amount of money. So that's fine. The problem being, yes, in a world where most of your money's coming from trade, that trade could disappear very, very quickly. You've got to be very careful about that. A sudden war declaration, a harbour being blockaded, this money could just disappear. But speaking of money, okay, over in the northwest of the Empire, this city is now wealthy, and also growing very, very fast indeed. But I think that's nowhere near enough money. I think it's time to start hiring Metsukes to help out a little bit. Oh, and hilariously, because the Metsuke was bought in the same region as there's a school, he starts off at rank 1. So immediately, we can make him much, much stronger. So, okay. Reduction in happiness, but +2 to repression, so overall public order goes up by 1, or cunning one overseeing towns. Yes, that's the flipping one. That's what we want this guy to do, okay? Don't worry about counter-spying, etc., etc. We want this guy to be very, very good at managing our town. So, this is perfect. He is now +3 when it comes to town management. And next turn, when we put him into this city, oh, he is going to be spectacular. And speaking of agents, better and better down south. These unguarded cities, we can just walk into them, incite revolts. And gosh darn it, you let me down on this occasion. Okay, you can't win them all, that's fine. So okay, he can just try again next turn, that's fine. But you, sir, you've made a flipping mistake. Okay, you've attacked the wrong Kokiga faction, and that was a weird direction to try and retreat, but fine, whatever. Looks like, oh buddy. Turns out you didn't retreat anywhere near far enough. Now the advantage we've got here is, this army is in fact 3 different flipping generals. So, as a result of that, this is all fairly light cavalry that is not going to do well against my spear wall. He's also got, 4 archers, so I've got way more firepower in that regard. I've also got guns, he doesn't. So, okay. This is going to be the biggest fight we've done so far, but I think this is doable. The only downside being, on this occasion, we're the attacker. So this is going to be more difficult than what we've seen before. Okay, just looking over the map, however, right. Plenty of trees, and some slight high ground, but nothing too much they could take advantage of. Like, maybe they'll just form up on this open hill, but if they do, they'll have no tree cover, so honestly, that wouldn't be the worst thing in the world. It is also possible they'll try and use some of their generals to do a flanking action. So yeah, let's make sure we've got a nice wide group of spearmen waiting on the wings to intercept them. And at the start of the fight, I'm going to put my bowmen right on the front line. The reason being, if I do that, there is a chance I'll be able to, yes, bait one or two of their generals forward to try and charge exposed bowmen. But there's too much firepower, so yeah, they'll be torn apart if they try. But it's worth, you know, just seeing if maybe, just a maybe, they'll take the bait. Still, step one, just to kick off the fight here. And yeah, by the looks of it, they're going to fall back onto, right, this hill in the far corner. So that's absolutely fine. We'll just send our troops forward. Once they start seeing what I've got, they may change their minds. And yeah, we've got plenty of time. Just take your time, guys. Nice, easy stroll. No one needs to run. We can just have you walk over there so you don't get exhausted. Now, the problem is, right now, I don't know precisely which troops are where. Because, yeah, many of them are hidden in the forest. The generals can't hide. So I can see they've got their generals up on the high ground over here, with a defensive rock wall. So yeah, these guys are fairly well defended. There's a good chance they've got most of their troops up there as well. But because they kind of, you know, camped in the corner, they can't fit all their troops up there. At least some of their troops are down on the low ground. So, okay. What we should probably do is, yeah, move on to this hill up here and fire down on these guys. We'll be able to take out some of their army that's stuck on the low ground, and then we can focus all our attention on whatever's hiding up on this hill. Because yeah, if we can just take out the low-lying ones first, we'll have an overwhelming numerical advantage when it comes to storming the hill. This, however, is the problem with, yes, being the aggressor. I simply don't know what I'm walking into, because the AI will 100% hide its units in the forest, so there's a possibility that, yes, any moment now, some units might just appear out of the forest to start firing on me, etc, etc. So, okay. What we do know is they've got no cavalry down on the low ground, because it's all over there on the high. So I think what we do is now rush to the top of the hill, and if they try and counter-rush with their archers, we just take them apart. That should not be too difficult to do, so, yeah. Just rush up here. Now you are allowed to go at full speed, guys, and open fire on anything that reveals itself. There we go. Starting to move forward. And there is some of their bow units, but we will have the high ground. That will be A-okay. Question is, are they going to attempt to? There we go. They're probably going to get the first hit in, but I think we should be A-okay. They're not quite 100% sure where they want to be. The generals are... hang on. No, the generals aren't moving, but some spears are. And I think I'm happy enough with this position that you guys at this point, hang on, just the spears, if you'd be so kind, yeah, can form up into your spear wall. So everybody just form up into your phalanxes. Beautiful. And my gunners are probably going to be completely cooking useless on this occasion. But yeah, all we need to do is take out the bow units. So, guys, focus on them first. I want those bow units taken out. But yeah, at this point, they're just sort of running around trying to figure out what they want their formation to be. I can also use my General's Inspire ability, by the way, to, yes, make my archers more effective at the job they're doing. So you guys just open a fire, deal with all this nonsense. Can I send, yeah, you guys forward, just to basically have a chance of, well, either firing on these guys or baiting them. Okay, because exposed flipping, yeah, gunpowder troops might well be a very good target they decide they want to charge. So I'm just going to send all my guns over here. Anyone who wants to get to them, though, needs to basically, yes, run the gauntlet of my flipping archers. So, okay, we're just firing on them for the time being. We've got flipping archer superiority. That's okay for now. But we've got to be very careful of, right, bow units. Careful of bow units, because bow units can outrange my gunners. So we've got to make sure we don't get caught out by them. But if we can just bait those archers forward to try and get them to, yeah, open a fire on my gunners, my own archers could do the job. So, okay. That should be another unit we can take apart. Yeah. Basically, we're just picking at them from a range. We've got archer superiority. We've got assault to the high ground. So yeah, we can weaken them before it's time to storm the hill. And hello, sexy. I think they're responding. We're definitely seeing now, yeah, some spearmen charging down the hill, ready to cause some damage. So, right, in which case, it's time to bring some of you guys into a more defensive position. Not everyone, though. Honestly, some of you would be better staying where you are. Like, you guys could just stay out here. That's a-okay. That's absolutely fine, in fact. And my gunners, honestly, I'm kind of happy for you guys to just charge. That's a-okay, too. Though, get my general, yeah, into range of the spear walls here. So it feels like they're about to charge this here wall. But if they are running uphill at my spear wall, yeah, they've decided they don't want to do that anymore. But that's a-okay. Because now my archers can just turn around and shoot these idiots in the back. Meanwhile, let's just send my gun units forward to just chase off some bow units here. So, guys, just open fire and, oh, bloody hell. Look at the damage of that gunpowder attack. Beautiful. Right, guys. Charge forward and, yeah, just see these guys off the map if we can. Honestly, at this point, I'm happy to, yes, start sending some of my archers forward as a bait and also as cover for my gunners. Because I'm pretty sure these guys are getting tired. Like, really tired at this point. Just look at the little orange foot over their head. So, if we can just get a little bit closer to you guys. Come on, guys. Just open a fire on those spearmen. They are not going to be happy bunnies, okay? So, is that officially in range? Come on, guys, and... oh, yeah. Oh, yeah, here we go. Here we flipping go. Oh, dear. Oh, flipping dear. Not happy about that. The problem is, however, yes, though this has been quite effective so far, we're kind of running out of ammo. Like, yeah, several of our units are now very, very low on ammo, actually. Okay, here's what we're going to do. Most of their army is now up on the hill. But any unit that tries to come down the hill to help, yeah, the small number of survivors in the forest over here, we can pick them apart with our remaining archers. And I'm also happy to just charge forward some looser formation spearmen just to, yeah, scare off their remaining bow units. If we could just finish off the last of their bows, that would be good. Because on the high ground, bows could be dangerous. So just to send you in. General, I want you to be near enough to, yeah, inspire these guys, if you would be so kind. So, yeah, we've got their bows pinned down here. Speaking of which, just, yeah, send some more units to reinforce. You can just guard their flanks. These are all ranged units. So, yeah, if we can hit these guys, that would be positive. There's the flipping, yes, reinforcements for you in terms of inspiration. The general is coming down too. The general is now on his way. Bring my general back, if you'd be so kind. Yeah, we've got our own archers ready to fire in. But, oh dear, I think my flipping gunners just arrived. So, okay, guys. I need you to draw up a nice and tight here. This is about to get messy, actually. All of a sudden, there's going to be a very, very large number of... oh, dear. Okay, stuff's about to get very messy, actually. I think they've charged everything down off the hill. So, okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to send our own units forward a bit. I'm going to try and pull our units back. While also firing on that general if we can. There's 2 units of Yari Ashigaru back here. If you guys want to just take on them, that's absolutely fine. So, oh dear, this is about to get messy. Honestly, you guys just fire into all of this. That's fine. Need my matchlocks to go back. Because, yeah, if anything, the matchlocks are just going to lead these guys straight into my spear wall, which is good. You guys advance as well. You guys just keep falling back. Fire on anything you've got a shot at. Like, say, these guys over here. Fire on these guys if you can. Because, yes, at this point, tag on your bow units. Okay, this is going to get very messy. But they're also going to start breaking very quickly. you guys just get over here and hit General number 2, who's going to run into a lot of flipping trouble from various spear walls. Guys, just push forwards at this point. This is an absolute cocking mess, but they've realised, yes, their only chance is to run down off the hill. So get my own general forward a tiny bit. Everybody just move forward. Oh, this is going to get messy. But my gunners are doing a good job just firing into all of this nonsense. Fire over here. You guys are in trouble because you've been surrounded. So yes, if a spear wall gets surrounded, trouble does occur. That's true. You're going to hold off these guys. You guys just get over to here. The problem is, right now, their generals aren't flipping dead. They're badly damaged, but not dead. So, right, you guys just push forward into those generals as well. Are my units actually firing and or fighting right now? Take out these guys if you can. I mean, my gunners are firing at... Oh, bloody hell, this is... No, guys! Guys, gun units! Fall back, please, fall back. Also, there's another general over there, but he's already weakened, so... Oh, this is getting messy right now. Guys, you've got no arrows, so don't do the thing you're doing. Okay, if we could take out that general with my general, I would be happy to do that. Honestly, one good charge, I think, from my general could do a lot of good work. So, right, get over here. Hit this guy in the back. He'll probably break at that point. I know I'm charging. There we go. He's broken. Get over here. My general goes over here and takes out you as well. That will break another general. I assume my spear lines are doing a competent job. But guys, fall back, please. Fall back. You just get over to here. You hold your position. That is fine. Okay. My general should be mopping up this general at this point, which is good. You are doing fine against these guys as well. We've got more Yari Ashigaru. Did we just take out their general? I think we just killed their general because all of a sudden everybody is looking like they are. There we go. Shattered. So, okay. They started off just trying to hold the hill. We're able to pick them off a little bit, but then, yes, they made the very good tactical decision to just charge down the hill. And no. We're not flipping done yet, okay? My general has got a lot of flipping and riding down to do. But yeah, their charge down the hill was the cleverest thing they could do, because at the end of the day, I did have a whole bunch of units just exposed on the low ground, trying to pick off 2 units of spearmen back over here in the trees. So, rushing down to try and get their generals onto my guns, clever, all things considered. Like, as a result, yeah, we've taken way more casualties than we would have taken otherwise. Still, I think we've got just about everything ridden down or chased off of the field, and... oh, just look at the amount of experience we got there. Our troops are much stronger for this fight. Though we did tragically lose an entire unit of Yari Ashigaru. So they're not going to replenish, they're just gone. But bare minimum, yeah. The unit of gunners that was badly damaged was not sufficiently badly hurt that, yeah, they're destroyed. So we get them back at least. And that is so much experience. I love it. Hilariously, their army has survived with just 50 men in it. This is, again, what auto-resolve is good for. It just makes sure that a tiny group of survivors does not escape and cause trouble. Still, I would say having won a couple of spectacular victories against Itto, how about we call it a punt there? But next time... right. I think, yes, at this point, we're in a position to just march straight into Itto territory and take everything they flipping got. Because, oh, you poor bastards, you should not have attacked me. And once that's done, okay, I suspect our economy is about to flipping explode. Because we've now got Metsukes out. Metsukes that are starting with a bit of experience already, and once we get a few of them out and get them placed into our various cities and get those cities upgraded, like, say, making this school into a magistrate to further boost the tax rate as well, oh my. At that point, we're going to be doing it very, very nicely. And as soon as Kyushu is entirely ours, well, I think we know who our next target is after that. The Marco are the obvious flipping candidates, and potentially, yeah, the Kikawa, they appear to have just taken a city off the Marco, right up at the top there. I swear that northernmost city used to belong to the Marco, so, okay. Me and these guys, though we don't like each other just now, if we were to work together to take out the Amalco, maybe me and you could become very good friends. So, we've got war, trade, diplomacy, all sorts of things coming up next time, so hopefully you join me for that. But in the meantime, I've been John, this has been Many a True Nerd, and this has been the delightful Shogun 2 Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.
This guy's enjoying that. This guy's enjoying his elephant a bit too much.
Oh my god.
In fair Verona, we set our scene. Oh my god, Becky, look at her butt. It is so big. They've managed to glitch inside one of the buildings. Elephants in the rear! And then in come the chariots!